Garrett, as we talk about what was a classic tonight in Utah and USC, breaking news coming out of the Utes camp, Cam Rising is officially shut down for the season. He came back, made that whole announcement video. It was supposed to be a massive deal for Utah's playing hopes, and he won't even suit up to play a single down this year.
Yeah, that's pretty devastating to the Utes. They're a much better team when he's in there and when he's playing. And man, when I was coming into the show, maybe about 15 minutes before we hit go live, I was ready to talk about I don't think Cam Rising loses this game against USC. I think if it's Cam Rising, they probably come out on top. And I was ready to talk about that. But let me tell you what, man, Utah, for as bad as they've been offensively this year, they might have found something tonight against USC.
Sure.
They had a gutsy performance, and let me tell you, I was absolutely locked in on this game. Bryson Barnes was all heart tonight, outplayed Caleb Williams, which probably tells you more about the two defenses on the field than it does about the two offenses. But Bryson Barnes outplayed Caleb Williams. A fantastic effort. There were two long runs on that last drive, one on like third or it might have been second and a mile, where he, gets up there, lowers his shoulder, puts the boom on a safety. Safety had to kind of hobble off the field. He popped right back up and he looked a little worse for the wear, but he popped back up and was ready to go. And then on a, I think it was even a third down, hits the corner, keeps running. It looked like he should have ran out of bounds to keep the clock going, but just cut up field. Let's go. I'm going to win this game. He knew they had two timeouts, so they were set. And yeah, he flat out outplayed, threw for 3 touchdowns in this game, flat out outplayed Caleb Williams. And want to give a shout out, Sione Vaki, two-way player here, plays safety normally, played a little bit of running back, a little bit of receiver in this game, caught 2 huge touchdowns. One was just kind of a catch and run down the sideline. He caught it over the middle, hits the sideline, outran everybody. And that second touchdown, man, had me going crazy. Catches a little in route, and then he's, all the way covered. He's about to get tackled, snatched the ankles, went right back the other way. Sent the DB, screaming the other direction, and ends up running that one in for the score. Huge night for him. I think he ended up with like over 100 yards receiving in this game. So love that out of Sione Vaki. Talk a lot about Travis Hunter playing both ways at Colorado. Not talking a lot about Sione Vaki playing both ways. So good for him. Awesome for that young man. This Utah defense was relentless all night. Massive game. Dramatic finish in LA tonight, with Utah ultimately coming out on top. And, I was repping at the beginning of the show, go Utes. Love the Utes right now, all heart, huge win. And if they can play like that, if Bryson Barnes can play like that for the rest of this season, Utah could be, coming out on top of this by the end of the season.
Well, it was the age-old question, did you leave too much time, right? USC drives the field, they score a touchdown. Initially, two possessions previous, they had settled for a field goal to make it 31-26. Lincoln Riley literally rolling the dice once again with Alex Grinch, hoping the defense could get a stop. They did. It finally paid off. It felt like the Trojans had the complete game plan, right? They were down early. They come back. It's going to be this storybook ending. But Caleb Williams doesn't throw for a touchdown. He doesn't turn it over, but he just was an X factor tonight. 256 yards, that was it. And then truly, USC did leave too much time on that drive. Maybe the turning point, though, was a targeting penalty by Bear Alexander, just an unnecessary launch, and it extends Utah's drive. And then, as you mentioned, Bryson Barnes has his hero moment to knock off USC. Utah has now beaten the Trojans in their last 4 matchups. They've eliminated the Trojans from any sort of national championship contention in the last 2 years. That is officially 2 of my playoff picks that are gone and down the drain. And I tell you what, I couldn't be happier. Utah is that the little engine that could. Every time you count them out, they find a new way to scrap, to win, to claw back. Truly an incredible win for the Utah Utes.
Well, and they were, again, on the road. The crowd was going crazy. And that last, end of the game, Zachariah Branch, they don't even drive the field. Zachariah Branch has a massive punt return where he just scorches people. If it wasn't for, I can't remember who it was that tracked him down, but somebody goes track him down, barely gets him at I think the 17. Caleb Williams rushes the ball in. And at that point, you're saying, oh, well, that's okay. It took the wind out of your sails. Bryson Barnes, he's been okay, but maybe a little hobbled, a little shaken up. I don't think he's going to be able to come back on this one. And man, just like I said earlier, all heart out of Bryson Barnes on this one. He just wanted it more than anybody else on the field. Nobody wanted to win that game more than Bryson Barnes did, and he got what he wanted. So, congrats to Utah! Massive, massive win. Couldn't be happier. For my kind of adopted team here, the Utah Utes. Gotta love it. Just gotta love it.
2 straight losses for USC. Caleb Williams has done a lot of talking in the media, Garrett, about things not pertaining to USC Trojan football on the field. Listen, on this show, we're all for confidence, but boy, when it borders on arrogance and suddenly you're talking about minority ownership of the NFL team that drafts you, we start to root against you a little bit.
I've got 2 questions. My first question is a little tongue-in-cheek. Are we sure that Utah doesn't have minority ownership over Caleb Williams? Because he's gotten destroyed by the Utes every time he's played him so far. But my real question, do you think that Caleb Williams is just kind of checked out? Like, he knows he's the number 1 pick, basically for all intents and purposes. Drake May could come for that, but I think he knows he's the number 1 pick. Is he just checked out? Like, there's nothing he's going to do left in college that's going to matter as much as his contract that he's about to get with the Bears. So, like, is he checked out? To me, he looks checked out. He looks just like he doesn't care.
I don't know that I'd go that far. I think he needs to learn. I think he needs to learn how to deal with the media. I think his team. I know it's his team is led by his dad. The Athletic had done an interview with his dad, even going back to before Caleb committed to Oklahoma. And it's kind of a LeVar Ball situation a little bit. His dad is very outspoken, definitely has kind of like the roadmap for his son. Hey, here's what we're going to do to succeed. So I do worry a little bit about that. I don't know that I'd say that Caleb's checked out, but he certainly needs to get refocused because listen, playoff wise, season's over. You can still find a way to make it into the Pac-12 championship game. And if that doesn't motivate you to play your best, to give your all every single week, to, move towards being maybe the first draft pick in the NFL, then you're going to expose yourself to a lot of franchises because ultimately at the end of the day, an NFL franchise needs a competitor. They need a dog that's going to lead their team. If you can't come out and do that for your team here at USC with the time that you have remaining, to me, that says a whole lot about how he would play at the next level in an NFL locker room, which is not exciting. So, keep your eyes on USC. Yeah. Very, very interesting, but boy, disappointing.
They still got a D5 team to lose to in the Cotton Bowl, so I don't know if it's going to be Liberty this time or if Tulane's going to get back.
Come on down.
Yeah, let's go beat USC in the Cotton Bowl.
Gracious, how about